along an Aldrich LLP, providing guidance to clients, particularly in the areas of healthcare and alternative energy resources. Governor, good evening.
Thanks for having me on, Keith. As a result of filling in for you 2 weeks ago, whatever you get paid, it's not enough.
Thank you kindly, sir. As to this issue, Mr. Obama has spoken before of not making the mistakes the Clintons made. But here today we saw Chuck Grassley bury a provision. He based it on a lie pushed by Sarah Palin, but written originally by Betsy McCoy, the same big pharma shill who's now discredited lies, got the first reform killed while the Clintons were in power. How is Mr. Obama doing any better at this point?
Well, first of all, I don't think Chuck Grassley has the power to bury anything. The way the Republicans are behaving, they're digging themselves deeper and deeper into a hole. They are playing to their base, and their base is all excited. The trouble is their base is shrinking, and nobody really cares if you're under 35 and you voted 63% for Barack Obama about what the Republicans have to say, because they're becoming increasingly irrelevant. So I don't, Chuck Grassley's probably not going to have a vote that matters at the end of this, because the Republicans aren't going to play.
But are the end-of-life provisions going to be in this bill, or is this just the first thing that gets cut out?
No, they'll be in the bill, because this has nothing to do with death panels or any of that stuff. They're just making that up. And I think at the end of the day, you got to have a decent bill, and that's part of it.
Is this... I don't even know if there's a word that characterizes the last week and a half of death panel-itis and the paranoia that has managed to damage something that would benefit so many people who are there yelling about it as if it were a gunshot threat. I don't know what word describes that, but is it necessary to this process, or was the correct move in retrospect taking some input from the GOP at the beginning and then writing a good bill and telling them, vote for it or not, we're bringing it to a vote before this August dog and pony show can be conducted around the country?
I don't think the dog and pony show is all bad. First of all, people really are angry. They're not just angry about health care. In fact, they really, frankly, most of them don't know what's in the health care bill, because what they've been told is totally untrue. But they're angry because there's a recession going on. I would venture to guess that 90% of the people who are shaking their fists and shouting down congressmen didn't vote for Obama in the first place. There's a huge generational change going on in this country, and these are the folks that are very uncomfortable with it. So, look, this is not Obama's fault. He tried to get the GOP to cooperate. They're not interested in cooperating. Chuck Grassley bragged that he's sending the bill to the bottom, and he's one of the good guys, supposedly. So this it's not going to work. We're going to have to pass this thing with a very big majority that the American people gave us, and this very vocal minority is going to have to custom itself to the change. And they will, because an awful lot of them are already on a government-run program. It's called Medicare, and they like it.
We kept hearing what a brawler the chief of staff would be, Rahm Emanuel, in that position, as he has been in so many others. Betsy McCoy dragged his brother into this, Dr. Emanuel into this. So why is there not more dukes up quality to this from the White House? The press secretary was very cautious about what he said today about Senator Grassley.
I think these guys are digging themselves a deep hole, and they will encourage their base, and their base will get all exercise. But as I said before, their base is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I think they're doing themselves enormous damage for their future, and frankly, the smart thing to do is step out of the way and let them keep doing this to themselves. Nobody really, truthfully, except for the most faithful of the far right, believes that there's a death panel in this bill. Nobody believes that, and the more they talk like this, the harder it's going to be to convince anybody that there's much substance to their proposals at all.
Shouldn't there be somebody out there handing out pieces of paper that have Sarah Palin's name on them, in which she declared a day devoted to exactly the thing she's calling a death panel now, just a year and a half ago? Shouldn't that be the approach, though, at these town halls? Shouldn't there have been something more organized by the Democrats?
Well, I think people are, speaking up when they get a chance to get a word in edgewise at the town halls. I think that's great. But the truth is, let me just ask you frankly, do you think Sarah Palin has any chance of getting elected President of the United States? I don't. She could get the nomination, but she'll get 39% of the vote.
I would agree with you in terms of forecasting. I'm more worried about what somebody who has a certain cachet to them, whether it's positive or negative, can do to people who don't understand and who are scared.
Here's the danger. The danger is that they further divide the country, that they convince this 39% or whatever it is, that they really are being screwed and that the government's coming after them in every possible way. And that does lead to problems. I mean, there's no question that leads to problems. But at the end of the day, this is a short-term political tactic to try to embarrass Obama by beating his health care bill. I don't think it's going to work, and I think it's going to cost the Republicans a great deal by 2012.
All right, Governor, thank you. And if you could send me an email on that salary point that I could forward to my bosses, I'd appreciate it. I'll give you a cut.
Thanks, Keith.
Howard Dean, great thanks.